To all the chosen ones listening today, you need to hear this message. Someone from your past remains tethered to your memory, unable to break free. Days, months, even years may have passed, yet their thoughts are consumed by you. There is no closure for them, only an endless loop of reflection and longing. You are the one they can't forget, the one they can't release, no matter the distance or time. This person's fixation on you has transcended logic, consumed them beyond reason. Every day for them is spent in the shadow of your memory, a relentless orbit around the idea of you. What once may have been a passing connection, casual and unremarkable to you, has rooted itself in their mind like a deep, spreading vine, entangling every thought and decision they make. Each hour that passes without contact from you feels to them like an unbearable eternity, a silent, roaring void that grows more deafening with each passing day. Their obsession is not subtle, nor is it fading. It intensifies as time stretches forward, fueled by a delusion that clings to the hope of a rekindling, a reunion that you have long dismissed, if you ever considered it at all. They refuse to believe that your life has moved forward, perhaps with a new love, perhaps surrounded by family, or perhaps in the sheer fullness of your own independence and contentment. But they remain stuck, trapped in a perpetual cycle of longing, where every fleeting thought of you is a gust of wind that fans the flames of their fixation. Their attempts to reach out are becoming more frequent, more desperate. They send messages, each one crafted with care, but beneath the surface lies a thinly veiled desperation. Every word is a plea, though masked as casual conversation or harmless inquiry. They want to remind you they exist, to lodge themselves into the corners of your consciousness, even if just for a moment. When the messages are ignored, as they often are, they turn to more covert attempts. They orchestrate chance encounters, carefully placing themselves in the spaces they think you might be, hoping to cross your path by accident, to revive a moment of recognition in your eyes. But the truth is harsh, undeniable. You have moved on. You have closed that chapter, locked that door, and thrown away the key. Their fixation does nothing but strain against a barrier that will not yield. They are left clinging to fragments of the past, like shattered glass that cuts their hands as they try to hold it together. For them, letting go is not an option, no matter how much pain it brings. Their refusal to accept your departure from their life has become a cage, one they built with their own hands, with each thought of you tightening the bars. Your life radiates a sense of abundance and contentment that can be felt by everyone who comes into contact with you. You walk through each day surrounded by the quiet satisfaction of a life lived fully, perhaps with a partner whose presence brings you peace, or with family who fills your days with warmth and purpose. Even in your solitude, your sense of fulfillment is undeniable, a rare balance between the world inside you and the one you navigate with grace. It's a life built with intention, one that reflects your growth, your triumphs, and the love you've cultivated around you. Their envy has grown into a deep, gnawing desperation. They cannot fathom how you've managed to leave them behind so completely. While you've soared forward, they remain tethered to the past, unable to accept that you've moved on without a backward glance. They refuse to believe that the life you have now is real, that your happiness is something permanent and not some fleeting moment they can disrupt. And so they attempt to insert themselves back into the folds of your existence, but they know they cannot approach you directly. Instead, they slither into the lives of those around you, casting out subtle questions, prying for details, seeking scraps of information that might tether them back to you. They probe your friends, family, colleagues, anyone who might know something about your day-to-day existence. They ask, under the guise of casual interest, whether you seem happy, if you've mentioned them, if there's any sign that you might still think of them, even for a second. They want to hear about cracks in your happiness, hoping that somewhere in the perfection of your life, there is a sliver of space left for them. They collect these fragments of information as though piecing together a puzzle that will grant them access to your world once more. But what they fail to realize is that these efforts are futile. Your world, complete and abundant, has no gaps, no missing pieces that they can fill. The desperation in their actions grows, like a starving animal chasing shadows, mistaking them for prey. They convince themselves that if they can just learn enough about you, they can find a way to pull you back into their orbit, to make you see them again, to disrupt the life you've built. But your happiness is impenetrable. You've moved far beyond them, so far that their existence no longer even registers on your radar. They may still try to make waves, hoping to stir some reaction from you, but they only cast stones into an ocean that remains undisturbed. Though you've cut them off, removed them from your life like a toxin that no longer has a place in your system, their presence still clings to you, like a monitoring spirit that hovers on the edge of your world, always watching. They don't need to be physically near you to attempt to exert their influence. They operate from a distance now. Their energy like invisible tendrils, always seeking a way to reattach themselves to your life, waiting for any sign of vulnerability. You feel their presence in subtle, unsettling ways. Perhaps it's the sensation of being watched, the persistent feeling that someone is keeping tabs on you even though you've blocked them out. It's not paranoia, it's the reality of someone who cannot let go, someone whose need for control over your life has outgrown the boundaries of normalcy. They create fake accounts, disguising themselves in digital masks, trying to slip back into your space unnoticed, always testing the limits to see if they can find a way back in. You see their attempts, the random notifications from unfamiliar profiles that carry the same energy, the same insistence on inserting themselves into your life once again. They act like a spirit bound to you, constantly watching your progress. Every time you move forward, every new success, every step you take in reclaiming your life and your autonomy, they are there, observing from a distance. They are waiting for any sign of a misstep, any crack in your foundation where they can once again slide in and try to regain the control they once held. It's not just about wanting you back, it's about reclaiming the power you stripped from them when you broke free. They thrive on domination, and seeing you rise without them is a blow they can't stand. This isn't about love or nostalgia. It's about obsession, control, and power. Their interference is constant, even if it's no longer in your physical presence. Energetically, they cling to you, refusing to release the idea that they should have influence over your life. But now, your awareness of their tactics, your ability to see through their manipulations, has fortified your defenses. They may watch, they may linger, but their power over you is gone. Their attempts to regain control will never succeed because your strength is no longer within their reach. The spirit they once dominated is now impenetrable, and their monitoring has become a futile echo in the background of your vibrant, unstoppable progress. And if you're ready to ensure they never get that power back, then it's time to step into your true strength. Astral Atom and Obsidian have joined forces to create the Inner Circle, a fortress for those who refuse to be bound by the past. This isn't for the weak. This is for those who have broken free and are ready to stay in control of their destiny, no matter who's watching from the shadows. In the Inner Circle, you'll gain access to the strategies, knowledge, and spiritual power that will keep your foundation unshakable. This isn't just about your rise. This is about staying untouchable, making sure no one ever dares to challenge what you've reclaimed. Every move, every tool we provide is designed to keep you ahead of the game, leaving those who want to regain control choking in your dust. The link is in the description. If you're ready to keep rising while they watch, helpless to stop your momentum, the Inner Circle awaits. Your presence has always been undeniable. You move through the world with a natural magnetism, the kind that cannot be faked or replicated. It radiates from within you, a pulse of loyalty, love, and an unwavering sense of honesty that others find irresistible. People are drawn to you, not because of anything superficial, but because your energy speaks to something deeper, something that commands attention without ever needing to demand it. It's a force as real as gravity, silent yet all-encompassing, and wherever you go, you leave an imprint that lingers in the air long after you've moved on. This person, this soul now stuck in their obsession with you, cannot let go of the way you treated them. You were once kind, perhaps in a way they had never experienced before, and that kindness has now become a burden they carry, one they are unable to set down. They were not prepared for the depth of your sincerity, for the genuine care you gave without hesitation, and now they are haunted by it. In every smile you offered, in every moment of attention, they felt something they had never known. It filled a void in them they didn't even realize existed. Now, that void has only grown larger in your absence, consuming them whole. While you have moved forward, growing and attracting new energy around you like a beacon, they remain stuck in the shadow of that brief connection, unable to escape. It wasn't just the words you spoke or the actions you took. It was the purity of your intention, the way you treated them like they mattered. To them, it was as though the sun itself had turned its face toward them for the first time. And when that light moved on, as all light does, they found themselves plunged into an unbearable darkness. That fleeting warmth you once shared has become an obsession they can't escape, a fixation that consumes their every thought. Now your light shines even brighter. You continue to grow, to evolve, and with each step, more people are drawn to your energy. They see your authenticity, your integrity, and they can't help but be captivated by it. Everywhere you go, people take notice. Your presence lights up the space around you, and others want to be part of it, to bask in the same energy that once consumed this person. But while the world gathers around you, this person stands alone, isolated in their obsession, unable to see anyone but you. Their vision has narrowed to a single point, you and the memory of how you made them feel. They can't bear to watch as others are drawn to your light, as you flourish and continue to touch the lives of those around you. It feels to them like a personal betrayal, that your attention has shifted elsewhere, that your energy now flows to others while they are left on the outside, starved for the connection they once felt. They chase the echo of your kindness, hoping it will return to them, but you've moved beyond their reach. Your light is too vast, too expansive to be contained by one person's longing. They see your boundaries not as walls to respect, but as obstacles to overcome. Every silence you offer, every door you close in their face only fuels their delusion. They twist reality to suit their obsession, convincing themselves that you are playing some kind of game, that your distance is temporary, and that one day you will finally see what they believe to be the truth, that you belong to them. They fail to see that their attempts to breach your space are not acts of love, but of violation, driven by a need to control, not care. Their fixation is not romantic, it is corrosive, eating away at their own sense of self while attempting to encroach on yours. Every day they try to break into your energy, like a parasite searching for a vulnerable point of entry. Whether it's through relentless messages, crafted to lure you into a response, or sudden appearances in places where they know you might be, their tactics are persistent. They will use any method they think might weaken your resolve, hoping to reignite any trace of connection. But you must see these attempts for what they truly are: invasions, driven by obsession rather than any genuine understanding of who you are or what you need. You must stand firm. Your power lies in your ability to maintain the boundaries you have already set. They are trying everything to pull you back into their web, but you are stronger than their persistence. They thrive on attention, and by denying them even the smallest acknowledgement, you are stripping away their power. Their obsession cannot thrive without fuel, and your indifference is the firebreak that keeps their delusion from spreading further into your life. Ignoring their attempts to break into your space is not weakness. It is the ultimate act of strength. It is a refusal to play their game, to be drawn into the madness of their obsessive behavior. You are not responsible for their inability to move on. You are not obligated to soothe their desperation or validate their delusions. The life they are trying to force themselves into is yours, and you hold the keys to it. They cannot gain access unless you allow it, and by standing firm, you are reclaiming the peace and sovereignty they are attempting to disrupt. This person may continue their efforts, but each attempt will fall flat against the fortress you've built around your well-being. Their delusion can only exist in a world where you engage with it, and as long as you remain steadfast, they are left to unravel in their own obsession, powerless to infiltrate the life you have built without them. Stand firm in your truth, and let their delusion collapse under the weight of your refusal to let them in. The disturbances you've been feeling, those sudden bursts of anger, frustration, or emotional heaviness, aren't random. They aren't just fleeting moments of discomfort. These disruptions are manifestations of their energetic interference, an invisible hand trying to grip your spirit and pull you back into their chaotic orbit. You've likely noticed moments where tension builds out of nowhere, where harmony dissolves into conflict without warning. It's not coincidence. It's the ripple effect of their unhealthy attachment to you, their inability to let go as they try to manipulate your energy from afar. They have latched onto you like a parasitic force, feeding on any trace of your emotional energy they can find. Even from a distance, they are sending out waves of negativity, hoping to stir something within you, hoping to cause even a small crack in your peace. They thrive on disruption, on knowing they can still provoke a reaction from you, even if it's one you can't consciously trace back to them. Their obsession has evolved into a force that works behind the scenes, pulling at the threads of your life, hoping that one will unravel enough for them to find their way back in. These paranormal disruptions often take form in the most subtle, corrosive ways. An argument with someone close to you that seems to come out of nowhere, a sudden sense of heaviness in the air around you, making everything feel difficult, slow, like you're wading through a sea of invisible resistance. These are signs of their energy manipulation, their attempt to inject negativity into your space, to muddy the waters of your clarity, and to make you question your own peace. They want you to feel as stuck and blocked as they do, to mirror the emotional prison they've built for themselves. But you are not powerless against this. The first step is recognizing what's happening. When you feel those sudden shifts, those inexplicable arguments, or the dark clouds of emotion that seem to gather over you for no reason, it's crucial to acknowledge that this is not coming from within you. This is their energy, seeping into your space, hoping to disrupt the balance you've worked so hard to create. Their attachment to you is not only emotional but now parasitic in nature, draining your energy and leaving you feeling depleted, weighed down by a burden that isn't even yours. To reclaim your peace, you must clear your energy and reestablish the boundaries that protect your well-being. This is more than just cutting them off in the physical world. It's about severing the energetic cords they've been trying to tie around you. Cleanse your space, release their influence from your mind and body, and fortify yourself against their attempts to siphon your vitality. Whether through meditation, grounding practices, or clearing rituals, you must take steps to reclaim your energy and block their interference from reaching you again. You must protect yourself by taking control of your space and blocking them from any further access to your life. Their fixation on you is not a reflection of your worth, but of their inability to let go. Their obsessive energy thrives on attention, but you have the power to deny it completely. Do not engage, do not respond, and above all, do not allow them to drain your light. The more you invest in your own well-being, the more you reinforce the barriers that keep their toxicity at bay. As a chosen one, your happiness radiates with a force that draws people toward you, but it also makes you a target for those who cannot rise to meet their own potential. Their attachment to you is not love. It is the product of their failure to grow beyond the past. Their inability to move forward has created a fixation on the one thing they believe they can still control, you. But you are beyond their grasp, and your energy is far too valuable to waste on anyone whose purpose is to undermine your peace. Focus on maintaining your joy. Your destiny is yours alone, and their attempts to disrupt it will always fail. They may try to invade your space, but they will never succeed in diverting your path unless you allow it. Your light is far too strong, your energy far too powerful, for their manipulations to take hold. Stand firm, continue cultivating your happiness, and trust that no matter how desperately they cling, they will never be able to shake the foundation you've built. Now is the time to rise even higher. Share your story. Let others know what you've experienced, because your words will help those who are struggling to break free from similar attachments. Your strength can inspire others to reclaim their energy, to block out those who attempt to pull them down, and to shine even brighter in the face of darkness.